Intention is not merely a word, but an action that if you take can change the course of your entire life. But it took me unintentionally falling into minimalism for me to understand the value of this simple word. I invite you to envision a closet filled to the brim with clothing and shoes. Each item carrying with it an energy, a vibe, an aesthetic. When you put some clothing on your temple, you feel vibrant, confident, attractive. But when you put other items on, you don't feel as light. You might be reminded of a bad date you had or a job you didn't love. But if you're like me, I didn't want to waste my energy clearing all that out. It wasn't until I was forced to move away for a year with only a backpack and a small carry-on luggage that everything changed. I went to Korea to teach English for just 1 year, and I knew it was only a year contract. Therefore, I could only take a little bit of stuff. Moreover, I was moving into a 200 square foot apartment, which is not much bigger than this bedroom. Not only was I forced into minimalism because I could only take a small amount of things, but I was moreover pushed out of the consumerist culture that I had grown up in America. But the longer I lived with less, the happier I became. Contrary to my original belief. I was not used to the fact that if I don't have to clean, manage, and organize all my things, I would have more time for friends, families, activities, and most importantly, time to contemplate myself. And as a side note, through this forced minimalism, I was able to save $24,000 in 1 year, which helped me take off the noose that capitalism has on us in this debt slavery system. As a visual learner, I physically saw that the changes in my life were making a good shift internally and making me happier. So I made a simple consideration. What if I set up a customs for access to me? Healthy boundaries, if you will. What if I revoked people's visa who don't fit my energy or elevate it? What if I let people use their visa until it expired and didn't renew it? What if I no longer let people squat in my life and take advantage of me? This simple question became my intention when I made, kept, or dissolved friendships. And again, I noticed a huge shift in my life. So I pondered yet again, what if I only have the intention of consuming things that elevate my energy? What if I only eat foods that make me feel better? What if I only consume media that helps me grow or makes me feel alive? And yet again, I saw my life change as my attention and my intention shifted. I became more conscious of the decisions I was making, of what influences I had or what influences were on me. This all evolved me for the better. But this was only the road to the spiritual journey. It wasn't until years after that somebody put the book in my hand, Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, that I started to ask myself the questions that I had been missing all along, the most important ones. What if I started setting boundaries and customs for my own thoughts? These are the questions that truly helped me find my soul. I started to ask questions like, what if I let go of limiting beliefs? What limiting beliefs do I hold? Where do those stem from? What if I don't take my thoughts so seriously and I let them come and I let them go just like objects in my life? What is my purpose in this human form? How can I set healthier boundaries in my mind to elevate me? For the first time in my life, I was able to receive and answer those questions because I had picked through the physical weeds in my life. You see, we know change is inevitable, yet we cling on to things so tightly like a hot coal, be it objects, media, people, ideologies even. If you don't learn to let go and let it pass, then you're just going to keep burning yourself with these triggers, with these traumas, with these internal thoughts that aren't even real. And the true question is, why would you choose to hurt yourself? You see, minimalism helped me understand in a physical form, birth and death of objects I owned. Whether it was the birth of death of clothing I owned it, I bought it, I wore it, I let it go. Or the people in my life, they came, they went, and that relationship ended. Or even the life and death of a thought. You know, you have this thought that was created, that somebody else planted a seed for you, it's negative. But what would releasing it and letting it go, would that liberate you? By learning that life implies death, be it for an object, a person, or whatever, accepting death in all forms is essential for our evolution and, more importantly, our peace. Remember, your intention has the ability to shift your entire being. I invite you to consider that peace is attainable. You just have to set your intention. Now, as an end of this video, if you're looking to open up yourself to spirituality a bit, I'm going to leave you with some questions that helped me on this journey. I'm going to give you some journaling questions. Feel free to write them down and answer them. I would give yourself at least a page or two to answer each one of these, because these questions that I asked internally shifted my whole life. I created a journaling template for this down below, so go ahead and grab that as we get started with the questions. It's absolutely free, and I'd love for you guys to have it. Here are some of the prompts I use to set healthier boundaries and actually minimize the amount of intrusive thoughts I have on a daily basis. Not allowing them as much access to Profesora Peña's proximity. So the first thing we need to do is ask ourselves, why do you believe X? So these are when the intrusive thoughts come in. Why do you believe that blah, blah, blah? So why do I believe that money's hard to make, let's say? And immediate answers that come up: I'm from an immigrant family, they all worked hard, I've always worked hard for my money, and rich people work 100 hours a week. And then the next question is that actually true? So let's go ahead and break that down again. Is it true that my grandparents were immigrants? Yes. Is it true that I've seen my family work hard for money? Yes. Is it true that every person that makes a lot of money works very hard? No, because we know some people that they work, but they don't work as much as, a day laborer does, for instance, right? So, is that true? I don't know. The next question is, okay, whether it's true or not, let's go ahead and ask this. Can I change it? The question is, can I change how much money I make? Well, that inquires a bunch of other questions. Can I leave my job? Should I leave my job? The question is, can I though? Can I possibly make more money? The answer should be yes. It is for everyone. Everyone can go out and do something to make a little more money. And I don't want this to be about money per se, but this is just an easy example because a lot of us have insecurities around money, right? But can I change it? If you can change it, then you have the ability to change it, and you need to put that in your court now. So then the next question is, are you willing to change it? This is one of the most difficult questions because the answer here determines if you're going to relive this cycle. What do I mean by relive this cycle? Are you willing to change it? If the answer is no, then the cycle is going to repeat and it's going to happen again. So if you're not willing to change your thoughts about it or your actions around it, you're just going to keep running into the same problem over and over again. It's just going to keep reincarnating in a different form, and you're going to see this trigger be hit again in your life. Whether my solution is to wallow in self-pity that I'll never make money, that's my solution to the fact that I won't have money. Otherwise, the other option would be to have a solution and start thinking in a way that will get you more of whatever it is you're looking for. Now, again, I don't want to make this all about money, but it's something that we easily understand. Use this for a relationship also. Why do I believe he isn't going to cheat on me? If he's cheated on you in the past, if he's cheated on other women, why do you believe you're different, right? Answer that question honestly to yourself. Then also, can you change it? If he cheats on you, can you change it? Can you leave? Are you going to stay? What are you going to do, right? And if you choose not to change it, that's your solution. So remember, this works for all sorts of situations. If I choose not to change it, be it my response or my reaction, then the outcome is my solution. You only have a problem when you're part of the problem. So if you're not willing to work out a solution or figure one out for yourself, then who's to blame? This is a prime example of how our triggers or problems are generally a result of our traumas or our distrust actually in ourselves to solve our own problems. Again, you see, peace is a place of intention, somewhere you have to determine, somewhere you have to find, and somewhere you have to go on a mission by yourself. And the way you do this is, again, through minimalism. All right, this is Editing Jessica, and I just wanted to let you know, I just said that minimalism is the way to spirituality, but I just want to be very, very clear that that was my experience. And there are as many roads to the spiritual journey as there are people on this planet. I just thought that maybe if you clicked on this video that you might be able to relate in some capacity, but that's not to say that's your experience or everyone's experience. And the way you do this is, again, through minimalism, through setting boundaries to who has access to you, to what has access to your attention and time and energy, because truly minimizing what you have and having less and being able to let go is really true wealth. On that note, guys, thank you so much for being here. You know how much I appreciate it. Profesora Peña just wants to remind you again, peace is practice. You must practice peace over and over and over again. You can't be good at anything that you don't practice. Preach only what you practice. And this is something I practice. So I really hope you guys find peace somewhere deep down. I know my journey to spirituality happened externally to the internal, but now I can say with the most confidence that my internal world shapes my external world. So I really hope you guys know that you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you're capable. Be safe, be respectful, be responsible. Take care.